waiting on. Thank you for your patience at home, in the audience, everyone around. I appreciate it, because we also did want to do this too. We didn't want to just be waffling at you. Maybe Moses did.
Moses loves to talk.
He loves a chat.
He does.
He loves a good bit of banter.
He loves a good old rant.
Southwest to northeast, it's a decent enough route. Most things are available again. The north side might be a little bit of a stretch, but you still have that road around San Martin, so you can go wherever you please.
Once again, thank you so much for bearing with us. Look, we know these things happen. We want to get the energy going again. These players have had a little bit of a break. Break and Sacriel have probably had a nice cheeky brew, to be fair.
They can't keep drinking that much tea. How much tea is acceptable?
They will be flying to the toilet quite often.
Yeah, you're right.
It will be, the caffeine will cause problems. But yeah, look, we're back on board. We're good to go. Let's get this show on the road, rock and roll. It's Miramar. Don't want to get too hyped because there'll be a little bit of a lull before the storm, so to speak. A little bit of a calm. Playing more towards the southern end of Miramar. Probably gives the northern regions a bit of a stretch. You have to get vehicles and go up that neck of the woods. Previously, we did see the circle. It was a hard shift all the way to the east. Yes. Cut a fair bit out, but again, the plane it's a totally different angle this time coming inwards.
It is, and actually just because of that picture and everything else, shout out to Breaks Mods who did that. Just
really
quickly.
Good fan base.
Yeah, I think a lot of these streamers in this event genuinely do have really cool fans who are very supportive and really do get behind the player themselves, which I like.
When a team of people that are watching you online is making a hashtag of "Make Gary quit his job," like that's
you either really like you or really hate you. One of the two.
Hey, he's right in what he says, though. Some people, unfortunately, just don't make it. It's one of those things. It's a hard world out there.
Yeah, no, streaming is not an easy one at all.
They're arriving a bit late.
Bloody hell. Ichi already been down here. You've got Wolf and Disciple collecting all that loot pretty swiftly. So, I mean, they aren't contesting this, though. So they might be able to get away with it.
You know what? To be fair, Lauren, they might not have even seen them because they were inside looting. You wouldn't expect anyone to arrive this late. They are a little bit spread. And all of a sudden,
Neotique has already got a kill.
Yeah, Yalal becomes the first victim of Miramar. Down he goes. 1, 2, 3 teams here inside good old Picado. You can see the S12K in the kill feed comes through. Neotique does pick that one up.
Cheeky Scar.
Garen of VSS.
You should never say Scar when you can say it.
Right.
That's a good point.
And there's a circle.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a... You don't love to see that.
A bit of water involved.
A bit of water. It's
a little bit of water. But you know what? I mean, to be fair...
Are we going to have a Leonas fight?
I think we are. It'll come away... Well, it should come away from the water. So we're either going to have a beachhead fight or we'll go towards Leones.
It always seems to end, like, on that south coast somewhere. Like, just from experience, I don't think I've ever had a game end in Leonas. Like, slap banging in it, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's warfare. It's damn right warfare because you've got those broken buildings, like those building sites. I've had people sniping from the top of the crane.
I have done that, and I like to try and push my teammates off by proning into them so you can force the player model a little bit closer, and it really upsets them.
Oh, Moses come to say hi. Hi,
Hey,
Moses.
Moses, how you doing? Any streamers you want to shout out again? I mean, Choco Taco kind of... No, that's it?
No?
All right, he's good. He's good.
He's had enough Twitter abuse for today. Every player hates him, not just in here, in the outside world as well.
It's fine.
It's all about fun, guys.
Just banter.
This is what we're here to have. It's the last day. But it's a serious day as well. We're into game number 4. This is it. After this, you only have one more game of Sanok left. 300 grand, Lauren. It's 55,000.
It's a big mood. It's a big mood right there.
Big mood.
Big mood.
Litty, I think. All these...
Litty?
All these... Well, I don't know how to use these words these days.
That's the desk host's name, all right?
Oh, okay.
Oh, Wacky Jackie under fire, though. That's a long way to be landing those shots. You might be able to clip 1, maybe 2, but to get a confirmed kill, you're praying for those sort of things.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard then. Who's within range here? I think anyone generally, probably from 10th onwards, has still got a really good... I don't want to confirm this, but I'd say a damn good chance of still being in with that top place of 55,000. I think below probably 15th to 20, if you're a betting man, you'd say it's going to get a little bit more difficult. Again, you're playing the numbers game here. You need to have people like ASM, Croteens, 68+1. These guys need to go out last. They need to have a really bad, poor performance. And then the people in 10 to 15, they need to be up at the top, like top 5 for these next 2 games minimum.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for anyone who's not within that comfortable position already. You want to be breaking 400 to feel good about this, but we'll see. We'll see how those points are going to push forward. You can see the difference, though, between teams who can really get kills and push positioning and teams who can only do positioning. It's pretty interesting to see that kind of split so heavily towards the top in day 3. Now, Picado's seemingly come to a close, and that's a nice tree. That's a beautiful tree in the field we're to look at.
You like the tree?
Ah, why not? And on board with cigarettes. No alcohol involved. He is driving, so only one of the 2 main vices. And he's on the way. Gear-wise, it's not the worst. It's not the best. Only level 1 vest there, level 2 helmet, bag, and he at least has the scar. And again, that was something that said in the interviews that the bonus of the scar is you don't need to litter it with the attachments for it to be viable. Obviously, always nice with the vert or the half or, you know, angled, but it's still pretty decent as is.
You saw a little bit of a shift after it got a tiny bit of a nerf in the weapon balance.
Oh, they ruined it for a while,
I say
but they brought it back.
it's more readjustment.
No, they ruined it for a while.
And this is why you kind of got the switch to a lot of people going on the AKM. I mean, don't still get me wrong, the AKM will reach for the moon every time you shoot it and spray down from it.
Yep.
But again, it's 7.62. If you hit every single one of those bullets, then you damn well deserve the kills. As simple as that. Green will always do less damage than red, to be fair. Tai Chi, rather unfortunate for him. He's the second victim of Miramar. Down he goes to Lucid Benz. With the scar as well, as you were talking about. It's just happily come through. But still, 6 minutes in, 40 teams alive. I'd expect this probably till maybe Circle 4. You're going to see a lot of people alive. It's going to be a long one, guys. So make sure you stay with us. Keep a track on your favourite players, your favourite teams, who you're voting for out there. Just keep a track of the kill feed. We'll try and pick up as many as possible.
I do want to see how Shroud and...
You just wanted to say his name.
Yeah, who doesn't, you know? King of Reddit, it's...
Did he just leave a Kar 98?
It could have been a shotgun, potentially.
I don't think it was.
It did look like a Kar 98, to be honest.
And he's got an SKS?
He does have an SKS.
Stop this.
But I do want to check in with Sacriel and old Breaky Boy, see if they've been pressured. There was a team near them, THZ, I think, is up there. No. But I don't know what loot they're coming out with. Again, I feel that Break and Sacriel do well if they get decent gear to start with, but they may not be putting themselves in a position to be able to do so. So there's a potential that they could be working with less. Now, the teams in Leones looking at that circle will be quite happy. They can loot to a degree. Now, the issue with being sent to circle when you're in a loot-rich area, that's a good shot coming out from Wacky Jackie, though. Very good towards Forever. His teammate's still alive, obviously only getting the knock, but still looking for a bit more. Good angle to play with, but again, you can overloot almost. You can lose track of the time. You can start forgetting that people are working towards you. So this could be a nice little bit of a pickup here if they can get out of it. Good loot already, though. 4 times, mini, 2-2, and a 3 back on. That's very nice for old Jackie there. Where did he go? I
saw a long barrel on the back of Spreezy as well. So what? Excuse me. Oh, okay. So he just punched him to death in the head. Was that even a knock or a 0-0-2-3-1 actually beat someone to death?
I don't know. He's like the ghost in the system. I don't think he's a real player yet.
Oh, he's like this. It's probably something like Godby on a secondary account or something, or Lion KK who's just turned up out of nowhere.
Please, no.
Casually just there, killing everybody in the fields. But yeah, I think on the back of Spreezy, I'm sorry it was a long barrel gun, so that's going to be a 24 or a Kar 98, something like that. Cobra's on the back.
And this is always a huge gatekeeping position.
Ooh,
the road
that's
into
not good.
Leones in the fire. Well, that's put him under a really bad spot.
He does manage to knock him. He will confirm as well.
Yeah.
Cobra did try to give him some defensive there. I mean, you could see if you look at Dougie, his health is all the way down to about 20%, so you'd assume that that's a taggy from an SKS or a Kar 98, punched him in the chest, but it does not relieve any pressure whatsoever. End game. Carries on the fire. Takes out his teammate. He's dead. He's gone. Cobra is left on his own to fight this one out. 75 players still remain. Again, guys, it's going to be a slow game. It's a Miramar. It's a bigger map. There's a lot of land grab to get across and traverse. We are 9 minutes in, but again, expect to maybe even Circle 5. Circle 4 definitely is when you'll start to see the kill feed being littered by rotational deaths.
So ideally, I want to look at that top 10 if we can and see how they're doing with loot as well, because this map is very dependent on it. You're not going to get those late game top-ups. Even if you get a kill, it's very hard to upgrade due to the fact that, simply put, it's a lot of distance between you, a lot of open ground that just doesn't allow you to get those kind of like, oh, well, I killed a guy with a car or something. You're not going to get that chance. Now, this is not bad at all. This could be an angle, predicts the shot. The 24 doesn't quite rattle off as cleanly as he'd hoped towards the other side, but he's certainly going to put a bit of fear into them, probably stop them peeking those windows, which may not be the desired effect at this point.
It might give him enough of a chance to bail out the back, then run away from this one and get away from the fight, because now he's obviously fired that bullet. They get the warning shot. Look, if you play the game enough, you know exactly what noise each gun makes. When you hear an M24 firing your way, you hit the deck, you get out the way, because if that thing tanks you in the face, you're going down. They've already been damaged as well, so the vest, the utility, the helmet, something like that, the durability will be going at least reduced.
But I like the way he's adjusted which floor he's on as well. He's not being static in the angle as he's peeking, and that's something that I think you're getting better players when they start getting more experienced is the adjustments on re-peeking, and you'll see it being punished. For example, when you saw the likes of Wacky Jackie and Co. against pro-tier players and very high-tier players at PGI, he re-peeked the same angle a couple of times, instantly punished, instantly dead. Do not get away with it. Here, you do get away with it slightly, but it's a really good habit to get yourself into. You don't get punished as heavily as you would against very, very high-tier players, but re-peeking the same angle, unless you're trying to just, I don't know, get them out on the timing of it, it's going to be very tough to do so, and I think that it's nice seeing players kind of already getting into that habit.
Saw a tweet during the break from one of the Envy players mentioning that they're not a big fan of Zanuck and they're having some problems. They're on a different map now. They're on an open map. I mean, this is their ball pit, right? With sniper rifles and these two guys in an open field, you just shoot.
And it's a geared sniper too. That SKS had it all.
Fully tanked, wasn't it? Every single attachable on there. Yeah. So these two should have a bit of a laugh on this map, all being well, and they need the points. If they want to jump up in, they might be able to scrape maybe top 5 and really kind of ramp up the money. But look at how many people are still alive, and look at how many are just heading for center circle. This is going to be messy.
Loads of people going center circle, and you guys at home, of course, you can get involved in the hashtag Broadcast Royale, or just put it in chat right now. I'm going to keep eyes on that. Who are you thinking is going to come into this game and do well? We've seen the previous results of Miramar. Do you think it's more of your competitive players, or do you think it's more the streamers? You know, everyone's played this map. Maybe some people have specialties. You like the way they're playing so far. Maybe you think it's a bit of a sniper. Could have a dab hand at this, and that circle. Now, considering how many people just went center, that's going to be a hard shift south and east. And there is a lot of compounds, a nice bit of terrain to play off, but you are on that land grab. That's removed a lot of what people had to hold on to.
This is Border Patrol at its finest. I mean, I won't really like to go towards the beachhead because I think you get trapped back there. But certainly at the backside of Leones coming out of there is going to be absolutely horrid. It wouldn't surprise me if someone like MBS decided to take 2 vehicles and then dump them. I'd be dumping cars, or at least completely, to be fair, avoiding Leones altogether, because so many people had run to it. Every single window, door, opportunity will be covered. Cobra's still eyeballing these guys. They're on the back of the bike. Can he get a knock on this one? Let's take a look.
Good spray on the first, but he needs to control and lead well enough, but didn't quite land those last couple of bullets. The extended mag, that's when you want it as well. You only got 30 rather than the 40, and now it feels like it's almost out of the range you can operate in.
Quick scope.
Switch up to the 24, bang out the shot. That would be perfection, but it's not going to happen. They have made it away for now. And it does seem as though a lot of people are backing Envy in this map. They do feel as though this is one of their home turfs, and very good at this. A lot of the Wacky Jackie fans still out there supporting him too, and a couple of the Breaky boys too.
So the rotations come through. Everyone works their way down south. Zenetrix found. Homer punched him in the face. That's a headshot with a 24. Excuse me, 2-4.
Envy.
Or M4 even.
Do they pull up here? I'm really hoping they don't.
They'll have a problem if they do. And all of a sudden his teammates found as well. So we lose Team 14 going out in 39th position. Second team falling. Again, this is what you'd expect on this rotation. I would predict probably maybe 10 to 12 teams die. It depends if they're smart about it. If they're smart, they avoid the northern edge, right? They go down, so try and come in from the backside and curve it in.
All right, let's see. Ooh, that was a tag then as well. That's not bad. Envy, you got the crowd supporting you, and they rarely do. You know what I mean? Like, they're all just like, oh, my favorite streamer's the best in the world. But right now, they do believe in Envy can do something on this. Now, whether that be the case or not, we did see that Fuffins, I'm pretty sure, was not too far away from this either. They were up on the same sort of hillside. Yeah, there you go. They're already expecting this. Is smart play from the Envy side, understanding that third party could come in, it being Fuffins and Ewan, so they're going to be adjusting around. Bit of a scrap between Damien there. So we've actually got potentially 3 very good players and teams all in the same area.
We'll see if any of them get a tag or a frag. Now we run the gauntlet, which is the hillside. As you go further down south, it just becomes a fight against the terrain itself. The Hitman himself, 00231. Picks up a kill, and now his teammates following through. That's going to be PNDs. He wants revenge here, but 231 does have the information. Oh, okay. You spoke about these fights, Lauren, potentially progressing. It looks like Spike's got to manage to get a knock onto one of them, so they have the info. They are inside the house. The car's there, which gives you kind of some sort of information, but they have knocked one already. Now, the problem is that Treats is segregated from his mate. Scurry has to go out.
Scurry's not bad either. Like, these guys have won games, Rich. They are not bad players at all. So Scurry could potentially do something. I like the way Mazzarini's playing off the back angle, being able to kind of throw nades in, keep the pressure up. Spike trying to peek through, see if he peeks out. But the bleed, it's happening. If he wants to get treats up, you're going to have to go now. Scurry still alive and kicking, still fine. Dips out in the smoke. Did he get spotted? I'm not sure. I don't know. Yep, he has definitely been spotted. Scurry needs to live up to that name and get a move on. Get the hell out of dodge because the fire's coming in. He's down to about 2-3 shots now. Just dipping in towards cover as best he can. We can see it from the perspective of Spike now. Is he going to be on the hunt? It looks like he is. They want this kill. They've got a bit of a thirst for blood on, so Spike's on the push, but whether or not he catches him, it doesn't matter. It will be Break actually to get Scurry. You can see it in the kill feed. So that's the third party coming in. Now they've got to know, okay, we've got the another big set of players coming in, so Spike and Mazzarini need to prepare themselves because Break and Sacriel are not far away.
They're focusing forward now. The question is, oh, okay, so this must be Break and Sacriel tagging him up. I've just seen the blood.
I wonder what gear those two have. We haven't seen them at all. So we'll see if Break and Sacriel have good enough gear.
Those shots are, Lauren.
Yeah,
That's
they're
a
not
fair
close
distance.
at all. Not sure. Oh, Beardew Live down and out, knocked for now, but potential revive to come in, but his teammate needs to secure the situation. Try and get a bit of respite here because there could be potential threats throughout, and it seems like he's lost track of where these opponents were. And until he gets one down, that revive is just simply not coming through.
I like the fact he's been proactive about it rather than just sitting there and letting his teammate bleed out. He's trying to get an angle. Now the confirmation does come through, so he'll have the info, maybe even the read to where they are.
Action.
Penguin with a VSS kill. Venerated, tags Kodiak, and Jonesy as well, so they wipe out a team. SKS does its job. Zargon and KO in the back lines. You still see Ewing and Fuffens there making their way in. The Envy boys are there as well. EG, my word, look at all these players, all decent players as well. And we could potentially just see them crash into one another on the edge of this circle.
Sacriel, risky time to be in a car.
I hate there are positive and negative effects to these hills. One, there's a way to survive at least. You can dip and die between the terrain and use it to your advantage.
It's mobile cover, right?
It is, exactly that. But the other problem is that the vehicles just, they're so terrible on it. Like, they flip, they fall, and it takes so much time.
Yep.
You're better off on foot for speed, but again, being on foot, you're out in the open, you're just a sitting duck, to be fair.
Choco Taco has blessed us by saying, thank you, the game is live. We have his blessing, so it's all good. There you go, then. Thank you. Even after Moses' rude words, we appreciate it. Wacky Jackie and Spreezy still alive. They made it through after all that fire, pulled themselves up. Got a nice little compound. If we could see the overall map, that'd be nice, so we can kind of work out where these teams are currently sitting. If that's a potential, that'd be always nice. Envy boys just look like they're on the prowl, so you can see everyone kind of working their way in. There's still maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 teams still on the outskirts, so they're not in yet. And that that western side is going to be absolutely packed with very talented teams. Envy, Ewan and Fuffins could become gatekeepers here for plenty of teams unless a third party from EG comes in. Loads of potential now.
So this is where the game of Miramar, or the map of Miramar, becomes night and day. At the start, you have a slow-paced game. People like to go sparse, they separate, they get loot, they get gear. But it's the circle which becomes your enemy now. This is where everyone starts to get closer and closer to one another. It becomes a land grab. You need to try and find space, but when you try and do it, every single compound, every nook, every cranny, it just has individual players just sitting and chilling. Again, you're in duos. Because you're not in a team of 4, still you can be a one-man band in this. You can play it for your team, because even if you just lose 50%, you can still at 50% strength. You just find a player just crouched down, snaking his way, shotgun, M4, whatever in the bag. Or you can play like these guys right now, just chilling. They've got some elevation. They've got some scopes as well. One can watch uphill, see if anyone decides to come down upon them. Meanwhile, Jackie will just kind of watch the back lines. Oh,
Mazzarini's just been knocked by cigarettes there.
That's a headshot.
I don't know if Spike's still around. I don't know how close they were. These guys were kind of in between a hell of a lot of people, so very easy to see third parties coming in, pressure from left, right, and center. And that map, even though it does show us a good picture, it's very hard to work out how close these teams are, what terrain they're in.
Spike was driving. Mazzarini got hit out of the back of the car.
Ooh. Oh, I love this bit of cover. Penguin and First Lady, I love this spot. That kind of like hard scale of the edge there. It's actually really nice to play off of, assuming you can keep the back safe. But I think Mazzarini's been left. Yeah, Spike has to go in the vehicle on the way. Nice gear, but he needs to keep hold of that one, so he's got to get himself moving in with that blue, try and take his time perfectly with that, get in on that south side coast, but another fight kicks off.
All of a sudden, Taran and Machine Gunner, as soon as they turn up to party, they're down, they're dead. They'll be able to collect the body boxes and take whatever gear they had off them. They were playing the leg game, so you'd expect them to have... Oh my God, Spike just killed himself.
What?
Yep, he must have jumped out the car.
Oh, please give us a replay. Please give me a replay, please. That's all I want in life is a replay of that.
God bless. Oh, well.
Take me home.
31st position.
Oh, that's not how you want to go out in a game like this. Cause
it's rather unfortunate.
You look at Miramar and you think, these are the sort of maps that these players will do well in, and normally they do, but... Oof.
This is a push and a half. Look at this. The grenade comes through, the aggression. Now they're just running to the back lines. They know they've got one. The knock's there, and they can just try and take out this second player by working together. The split comes in, one will push up and one will dip down low.
Pray it's not a teammate. They're fine, so they confirm the kill, but it looks like Tume is out of there.
Oh, they're getting hit in the back.
Yeah, she's having none of that, so she's going to get out, try and find a bit of new cover, but everything's been taken by this point. It's not easy. You can see the fire. Tracer's coming in left, right, and center. They've just taken over their building before.
This is pretty wild. They make an advancement on a team directly in front of them, and as soon as they do, another one behind just pounces into them. So they had the upper advantage in pushing a team that had one player knocked, but now they have to be careful. Death from behind could be lurking very, very close. And the issue is that they have no idea. Oh, as soon as I say that, they get their spot. The team is just lowering down into the circle and dipping down low.
Look at their positioning. The problem is if they get flanked or someone gets behind them, they can be the gatekeepers for teams quite far out. But if I'm them, I start backing up relatively quickly. You start trying to put yourself towards an easier bit of position to get to, because they saw a player get away from this and they don't know where they've gone. So they could already be set up on them, waiting for them to try and get to that new circle. Oh no, timing on this could be a bit of a disaster. Sacriel's being tagged up, breaks pretty low. They're on the move now, but oh, he's been taken off it, no! And Sacriel somehow still alive. Maybe he can get to cover, maybe he can put up a smoke. He hits the deck, he tries to get the heal, but that was Damien getting shots in.
Yeah, and he had to believe, I don't know what hit him, but I saw him with a 24 killing some people earlier on. Smokes are going down, so they'll be able to build a little wall.
Where was that fire from if they're not still under fire now?
You'd assume directly in front of them. If he has the defilade there, that would assume.
Serpentine, defilade. Sacriel.
Yep.
If you say so. I'll leave you to it. Meanwhile, that's a sound you don't like to hear. Bullets come flying his way.
Unless you like a fight.
Yeah, there is that one. Come on then, son, let's have it. Ultra and Simzip still alive. Tume just to the left-hand side of him, a little bit dipped down later. Then get out of that one earlier on.
So now you can see the context. Sacriel and Break were slightly further north. Damien and co were off to the side, but there's a potential another team right on top of Damien. So I think them taking those shots towards Break and Sacriel could have given away the game a little bit for them. Now these teams on your screen aren't actually safe, and this is a huge fight coming in. You got Envy.
Oh, they're close.
That nade was so close towards Venerated and Kaden, and again so close. That's Fuffins and Ewan landing those, or at least trying to land them.
But the thing is, right in front of them, there's a team that they don't know about.
Correct.
Just in the ditch, so they'll be watching this happen and creep. Maybe they get lost by line of sight here. They focus so much on Kaden and Venerated that the other team advances into them and takes them out. Neotika playing solo, manages to take out Effect.
Teflon TV isn't with this team.
Taking out two back-to-back.
Oh, wait, look, Ewan? Ewan has no idea. Ewan's going to have a horrible surprise. Up, away they go, pretty much. They wait for the last couple of seconds, but Envy are watching this. They were predicting the other team. And now the shots come through. Envy are baffled. Where are these players coming from? It's the mass exodus out of the blue. And now they want to hunt some more. The M16, all he's got in hand, but he fires that like it's full auto, so he's perfectly fine.
Single fire, 4 kills in the bag. Both the two teams that were looking at them have just kind of fallen victim. Kaden picks up another one, and now all of a sudden, Team Envious. The boys in blue are doing work. Fuffin still just snaking and lying down. They need to be very aware of that. He could cause them problems if he gets if they get ahead of him and just leave him behind. If he turns up late game, Godspeed and Master Nuke also in a bit of a predicament themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams on the back foot, but they found Neotika cigarettes.
Where's that third party? Wacky Jackie and Spreezy are joining in. They heard those shots. They turned their eyes towards it. Master Nuke got tagged up down to a one-shot, hits the deck. You can see the fire coming in. Still under pressure, but the Defilade kind of keeping them safe. Well, at least the Enfilade, if you want to be that person. Cigarette's still alive for now, but keep eyes on this. 22 teams is about to get cut pretty hard. 35 seconds until that next circle moves in, and that's where there's very limited cover now. That's where everyone has to take these fights and pray that you're safe from that third party, from the team in the background.
Master Nuke has no health whatsoever, Lauren. He needs to catch Cigarettes first, otherwise he's down, he's dead. Sees him with the scar and eliminates both of them. They might have taken out his teammate, but he answers back the 1 versus 2.
Fuffins.
Uh-oh. Please no step on Snack.
Their vision is based on movement. Stay still, Fuffins. Also have very small arms. You'll be okay. Maybe.
Well, they don't know for now. But they have to be careful, because if stepping on a frog and it just biting you.
The frogs don't bite.
You've never
They
seen a
squish.
bullfrog.
They squish if
you heard him
step
scream.
Scream.
Scream. I won't do the impression. Anyway.
Oh, here we go.
How have they not been shot yet?
I do not know. They are just on the run. They're just, I don't know what they're up to, but there's a player in this building, so let's see how that one goes. There's the call, there's the spray. Goes in for the hip fire, a little bit lackluster on it, and there's the wipeout. They went a little bit too half-handed. They went a little bit too hard on that one, and Damien's still alive.
That's amazing. So THC takes them both out, but he gets overzealous, and all of a sudden, Luck just says, you know what? Okay, well, we'll get involved in this as well. They know they've got the knock. Are they going to get aggressive on this? They're going for the nades. They don't know exactly where they are here.
I don't know where we are either.
We are on Miramar, Lauren. Help me.
We're just going on a T-tours of the map.
Teflon, last man standing for his team, managed to pick up a kill, so get some points in the bag for now. First Lady also hoping that he's not seen by the two players directly in front of them. Wacky Jackie and Spreezy. The one good thing about duos is that if you get into the top 25 with 2 alive, you kind of edging your bets. You know, with squads, all right, you can keep 2, 3 alive, fair play, maybe snake in, but 1 versus 2s are just so hard, and because there's so many individual battles, it's a pain in the backside.
Has he seen Wacky Jackie and Spreezy, or they might be behind cover? At least they're working cover to cover, which I like from them. Fuffin's still alive, finds one of the Envy players. He was trying to hunt them down, but Fuffins did get traded on in the end. Caden was there, and you'll see that go back and forth. So Envy should be able to get the revive. I don't know where they are on the map currently. I mean, there could be more pressure coming their way. But is Break and Sacriel still alive, by the way? Sorry about Caster's Curse if I've done it, but can we check it? There they are. Quite central on circle, nice high ground. Assuming they don't pull too much attention, this isn't a bad spot. Let's see how their comms are.
The circle just went their way, Lauren.
Not yet. We're about to see it hit on their screen. I didn't see it beforehand.
Yeah, but they're on the edge, so they can play border patrol. I love this area where they are.
This is a good bit of cover. They can hit the deck and they're safe.
So the only thing they need to be very aware of is if a team just rushes out of the blue and they're not watching cover. If they're not watching from behind, that's where they're going to die. Watching in front of them's fine. If they get knocked, they can get revived because they've got the Def Lid they can play off the back of. But provided they give themselves that angle that they watch people come in and play border patrol, protect your backside, they could be in for a bit of a win here because that circle is fantastic for them.
One guy down here.
Spreezy calling out southwest.
Always been knocked.
And he does have cover to crawl back to, so Spreezy could get the revive on this, but timing is of the essence and maybe not. Break with a steal there, taking Wacky Jackie down. Additional 4 points to him. He's happy with that. Oh, and look at this angle he's got. Perfect.
Leans it.
Finish.
Gets him under the dot. I still have the information that there is another player there, but lurking directly behind them. This is all the way down south. Envy. They're down. Venerated. I'm not sure if it's his first knock or second.
I think it might be his second now, because we saw...
Did he go down to Fuffins?
Fuffins got him earlier, and then Caden traded it back.
So he needs to be very, very careful, because the next one will pretty much confirm his death and bleed out super fast. That's beautiful. You love to see it. You love to hear it as well. It's such a nasty weapon.
It's a big mood.
Using the younger people's terms.
I'm down with the kids.
Gather. How you doing, was it? Hey there, fellow children.
Sounds really creepy.
It's that gif.
All right, Break. Let's see what the spray's like. You've shown us the minute.
Straight line on the lower ridge.
Good calls going out from Sacriel there. Nice information passed across. Kill claimed. Don't know if they can actually confirm the kill there, but it does at least give him the knock.
Oh, he's been knocked, Lauren.
Yeah, Sacriel. Nice work from Break, pushing his way forward. He'll to get off. He might be able to get Sacriel potentially, but there's more people coming their way. I'm almost certain. You're on a side that's going to be folded in. Teams towards the northeast slightly.
Oh,
Break's gone down.
Oof. So they make it into the top 10 at least. Panic smokes are coming out. The turn on forever. Just trying to give themselves as much cover as humanly possible. Do we? Yep, the chest is gone, so that's from the knocks. So we need to be very careful with Venerated. If he gets hit in the chest, he'll take full amount of damage. But again, long-distance weapons, the favor's on their side. They're all inside the circle now. If you're outside, you're pretty much dead. You find an uphill game, and also this thing will tank you down hard. Team 17.
Oof.
I don't think...
just got battering.
Are they in here?
Yeah.
Only just. But where do you go? There's only one way out of that. You can't go up. You're trapped behind a rock now.
You hope for a third party, right? You hope that the circle becomes a bigger problem for the other team.
Unless you can land shots like that, they're punishing them here. They're forcing them away from this. This is good.
Now, this is where it's going to become fun, because we're going to see who's kept their utility. And what I mean by that is your smokes, your nades, things that allow you out of really bad spots if the circle moves against you. So this is what we want to see from Envy. How much do they have left in the bag, pretty much? Venerator's has been knocked a couple of times. They've had a lot of fights, but they are the team to be keeping your eyes on as, you know, the quote-unquote firm favorites. But this angle is brilliant, and that SLR is so accurate right now. And with that suppressor on it, it sounds beautiful. But while the player's got away, he's found another bit of cover, but you don't overextend. Every step you take in this, there could be a play. The turnaround is good, though, and they're staying alive.
He whips around, gets the call out, drills him down. Damien on the back foot as well. M4, but he's got a grip and a comp. Might be able to do some work here. Whips for the 8 times. Goes for the quick scope. Go on, get him. Tag won't be there, but he whips out the M4 again. And if anything, at least keeping pressure on them and letting the presence known. But it might not be good enough, because there's another party involved in this one. They might have an angle in from up there.
Blue's moving in 3 seconds.
Yeah, and that'll kill him. I mean, thankfully they're on the slow side of the circle, but they've got to move away.
Absolutely.
Do they have any cover at all to move into?
I don't know. The terrain's really hard to see from a vertical angle. I have no idea.
This is...
can you be level 3'd up a little less, please?
Oh,
Each you've been playing late game.
Oh, this is what you said, Lauren. He's with level 3. Yep, that's a grozer as well, but he actually...
Wow, that shot was sick.
Nice.
Batters him in the face with the M4. I think he's got a red dot on that M4 as well.
Too much. I'm dead.
Oh, Envy. They've come out to play now.
Let's kill this guy.
This is what you want to see from these guys, right? This is the real Envious.
There's a player in this building with him. Or at least nearby. Not sure if they're still inside, but he's got to be so careful now. See how he plays it out. You can see him closing in. These are the big names. These are the big players. Envy players taking it forward. EG's players. Wolf just got completely destroyed. They had level 3s. They had all the gear. They had all the loot. And, well, they might be at least getting a bit of a third-party revenge. Kavalt was holding the back lines the entire time. He's been watching that from afar. And we're down to 5 teams, 8 players.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire, Envious. They get top 6. 2-mate just praying that nobody sees them inside the little cabin. Death from above. Damien still just chilling for now. That's a good tag. That's the SLR again. Confirms the kill as well. That was quick, so whether that's a super... No, in fact, it's not a bleed out. It's just a second tag. Take a look at the POV, see how it went down. He's pretty good with this gun.
Yeah, he's
Man's
not
got some
doing
skills.
Forever doesn't have much, though. No helmet, no vest.
Oh.
Limited on ammo. Tume was one of the players who escaped early in a car. I'm pretty sure that was running away from... I can't remember who. It might be Wacky Jackie. It might be one of those players. I'm not too sure, but they've been really central for quite some time, just staying alive.
Yeah, it was the... I can't remember the...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can't remember which fight it was now. Tag comes down, forced to help his teammate out. But SLR, Franco, he's just causing problems from every single person on this map right now.
You can see how limited they are, though, now. They've got 2 medkits, a bandage or 2. Nothing else.
He's in the push. He's in the push.
He's in the push. He hits the shot, though. 33 bullets, maybe more than enough. Sees one on the high, I guess, on the high ground across towards the southwest-west. But who is on the other side? It's Franco, and his teammate's just been killed. He's been spotted out, though, so he needs to be careful. He can't show towards the north-northeast. He's got nothing left either. Only a helmet, no vest. This is huge. These players are all really weary and broken. They can't take sustained fights. Franco could be in trouble now.
The problem is that circle's going to force him upwards. He can't stay there, I don't believe. There is literally nowhere for him to go but forward. And what kind of cover, unless he just can smoke forward and then run behind it?
He's got to smoke.
At least get the second place. They're much better.
At least get second
They're
place.
much better.
Oh, look at the HP! Hello?
He's like, blue, please don't kill me.
Just keep your eyes on the bottom right near the mini-map. You can see his line in comparison to the blue. It may look close, but he's still got a second. He needs to land like a headshot, get a knock. That will allow him to move forward. Beyond that, this is not easy. He's still... Is he? I don't think he's in yet either. I think he might have to move a little further forward,
I think he's just done it, but I wish he'd used this smoke, though.
Please, please use your smoke. There's fire everywhere. He's not getting away from it. Forever gets it, but Tume waiting the whole time. Patience paying off, but can they take it any further now?
It was the fight with
it's a 1v1, Rich.
Ultra earlier on is what pushed her away from this. She's on the back foot. That's a good tag.
Level 3 vest, level 2 helmet, and a kill to confirm. Great play at the end. Patience paying off, taking their time, and getting the win.
More importantly, staying alive. Earlier on, they had an engagement and she bailed out the